You know, I've talked about Christelyn Karazin on my other channel that is no longer in existence right now. And the two videos that I did about her were pretty, in general, respectful to her. I just mentioned the fact that I don't agree with the message that she promotes because I just simply don't agree with black women dating white men exclusively. I just don't like it, and I don't agree with black men doing the same when it comes to women of other races because first and foremost, you should be looking at your own people before you look at anyone else as an option. Now, Christelyn Karazin is a very beautiful woman, but she has a very ugly message as far as I'm concerned. And I also put her and Tommy Sotomayor, who is another YouTuber who is very big on YouTube, in the same category. Because the two most prolific names in the black community, I use the black community, very, um, I use that term very loosely when it comes to these two, because they don't give a shit about the black community. But the two names that you'll find the biggest when it comes to black people on YouTube is Christelyn Karazin and Tommy Sotomayor. They're the two most prolific channels because they have so many followers. Christelyn Karazin and Tommy Sotomayor promote the divide between black men and black women. That is exactly what they promote. No matter how much you can't stand me, no matter how much you think I'm lying, that is what Tommy Sotomayor and Christelyn Karazin promote. Christelyn Karazin promotes more than anything else black women dating white men. Even if she promotes them dating Asian or Hispanic. Some people, some swirlers have come on my other channel that I had up before and told me that she promotes black men as well. She may very well promote black men, but she promotes white men on an epic scale. So I don't want to hear any of your lies and excuses. That is the truth right there. Okay? Tommy Sotomayor, who is another prolific name and another prolific person on YouTube because I have so many followers going around and following him on his different channels, listen to his message of pure hatred towards black women. I don't care what anyone says. He can't stand black women. Even if he sleeps with them, he cannot stand them. He does everything, goes out his way to clown black women, to make them feel disenfranchised, to make them feel, degraded and like shit. And he also shows a lot of negative images of black men and black people in general. So not only causing a divide between black men and black women because he's showing so many negative depictions of black women, he also has white subscribers that see the negativity in the black community, and he's clowning us, making us look like fools. Yes, it's a responsibility for black people to take responsibility for what they do too, but when you show nothing but negative and don't show the positive when there is a lot of positive things in the black community as well, you're a snake. And as far as I'm concerned, Tommy Sotomayor is a snake. Christelyn Karazin is a snake as well. I don't hate this woman. I don't hate her at all. I don't like the message that she spreads. She has an entire website dedicated to black women dating outside of their race. She has a channel exclusively promoting more than anything else because I've passed by on that channel through the years I've been on YouTube on my old channel before I got on this new one. She does nothing more than promote white men exclusively to black women. Yes, like I said, there are other men that she may promote as well, but I don't know if it's the fact that she's married to a white man or she just believes that white men are better than black men. Those men are promoted more than ever. When it came to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's, wedding, of course that was promoted on the swirling channels. When it came to Serena Williams, of course it was promoted on the swirling channels. Guess what I did on my channel? I made a short 30-second video about Serena Williams' wedding to this white man she married, okay? And I said I simply don't care because people were going to ask me what was my opinion because of the channel that I was doing back then. I said I don't care. And I still got negative feedback from people, which I found to be hilarious because I really don't care who Serena Williams marries. I was one of the men who thought that she was attractive. And I never called her a monkey, an ape, or whatever these disgusting names these men called her because I found her to be attractive. I also found Venus Williams to be attractive. But once I found Venus Williams was doing nothing but continuously dating white men, it kind of turned me off. Like, she didn't give a black man a chance. At least Serena Williams did give a black man a chance, even if the black men that she was with decided not to commit to her. She did try them. So if she wanted to be with a white man, that's her business. I'm not going to down Serena Williams. I just simply don't care who she marries. It's her life. But I do care when a huge message is spread throughout the black community aimed at black women, to date exclusively white men. That is a problem. Because already we are seeing in the media, we are seeing in movies slowly but surely, and we are seeing in advertisements that white men are supposed to be better mates for black women. And that's bullshit. I don't care how many times you want to tell people that they shouldn't go back to the history of when white men raped black women. I will go back to that forever. Because you can't tell me that black men are the only men who rape black women, because the ones who rape black women at a higher rate than anybody else on this earth are white men. Has your white partner spoken out against issues for black people? Is your white partner doing anything to get laws changed so that black people will stop getting discriminated against? I don't think so. There are many black women who are in relationships with white men who call them the N-word and treat them like shit, but will they talk about that publicly? No. But they will be quick to degrade black men who have done things to them, like, not degrade them, but maybe done domestic violence, have cursed at them, have verbally assaulted them, stuff like that, who have left them high and dry. But the thing that you need to understand, the thing that Christelyn and Karazin needs to do, which she will never do, and I'm saying this in the most respectful way, even though I know this video is going to get dislikes, because swirlers will see the name on this video and they will come here and dislike it because I'm a black man. I'm already their enemy for being a black man. Okay? I already know it's going to happen. But the thing that Christelyn and Karazin should do if she wanted to be unbiased, you want to promote white men on your channel, that's your prerogative, because that's your channel. Okay? But what you should do is, you should tell black women about the dangers of swirling as well. When black women are murdered by their white partners, when white men have the capacity to kill their wives more than black men or any other man in this race, of any race, do. Black men who molest their children, white men who molest their children. Okay? White men do a lot of disgusting and horrible things as well. And they can do things to black women as well, not just black men. Black men should not be demonized alone about what they do to black women, because you know what? There are some bad apples in the black community when it comes to the men. But there are also good black men out there like me who would not even think of putting their hands on a woman, who would not even think of verbally assaulting a woman. Maybe I'll get into an argument or a disagreement and I'll handle it a different way when I talk to my woman, but I won't call her a bitch, a hoe, a slut, or anything like that, because that's degrading and that's disgusting. And you don't call someone that name if you have feelings for them and you love them very much and you value them. That's not the way I was raised. So maybe you can call me a simp, you can call me weak, but that's the way I handle my arguments, because I don't argue with my woman that much. That's the good thing too. If you argue a lot, there's a problem in your relationship, and you might want to consider reevaluating if you want to be with that person or not. But here's the thing with Christelyn and Karazin. Her promotion of white men is on too much of an epic scale. White men who fetish black women come to her channel as well as white men who really, truly probably do love black women. This just further ups white men as far as I'm concerned. White men have already been told that they are the crown jewel, that they are the ones who are in power. They are the ones who are the most desired men on the planet. A black woman making a channel dedicated to black women worshiping these men and being with these men more than any other man on the earth is just doing more of that. It's just making them feel more, entitled. It makes them feel like they can go after any black woman they want. Why do you think that white men who get rejected by black women who don't want anything to do with them get upset? Because they believe they're owed black women. And back in the day, they raped black women, took them because they wanted them. They took them. And you say, where was the black men who wanted to defend? There were black men out there who died trying to defend their daughters, who died trying to defend their wives from slave masters. They were fucking murdered, or they were beaten because they tried to defend their black women from these white men. Okay? And I'm not trying to put hatred on white men at all. I'm talking about the issue at hand when it comes to black women dating white men. I've talked about on this channel, and I've talked about numerous times on my other channel. That's why a lot of black women love me. Talked about black men need to stand up and stop being cowards, because when you're a coward, women are not going to respect you. And they will go to other men who are not seen as cowards. A lot of these black women go to white men out of spite, to spite the men who have done them wrong. So many times in different relationships they had with black men in the community. And then black men who can't stand black women have been in so many relationships that were negative to them, and they might have been in love with the black woman and it didn't work out, and they wanted to work out, but it did not, So they go on videos bashing black women and putting white women and other women on pedestals while tearing down the black women. Black men like Tommy Sotomayor and other channels like Hardcore Tito, Reluctant Nobby, David Carroll, Mad Bus Driver, and numerous other channels that put white women on a pedestal above all other women, even non-black like Hispanic and Asian, they're not doing the black community a favor. They are tearing us apart. And channels like Beyond Black and White, which the tagline is character over color, is doing the same when it comes to black women. Weak-minded black women are the only kind of women who will be in interracial relationships, because a strong black woman knows that even though she's been through relationships with men who have treated her like shit, there is a black man out there that will treat her like a king. A king out there that will treat her like a queen. You gotta forgive me, I just woke up. I know I screwed up that, but hey, just give me a break on that one. But like I said, because I've grown up around black couples who have still been around today. Family friends. People in my own family who are still married to this day. Black couples, okay? They've been through ups and downs, but guess what? That black man takes care of that black woman. That black woman feels appreciated. I've seen it a lot. I know a lot of people who are black and in relationships together, and they've been in relationships since the 80s, since the 70s, and they're still together now. Still together now. In their older ages now. So, to be fair, if you're going to talk about, black men doing this and doing this to black women, you should talk about what white men do to their women and do to black women as well. But swirlers don't address topics like that because it doesn't fit the narrative of making the white man look like he is the best on earth. It makes them look like they are just the same as black men, that they have the capacity to do the same thing. And that's not what the narrative is on that channel, because that channel is about promoting every single black woman she can to be with a white man or a non-black man. But like I said, the majority of the men that are promoted on that channel are white men, perhaps because she's married to a white man. I respectfully disagree with what she says. I don't hate this woman. I don't. She's a black woman, and she's a beautiful black woman at that. So I don't hate her. I just don't agree with her message. Someone sent me a link to her video that she just recently did. And I don't watch Christelyn and Karazin. I've browsed through her channel when I was younger, like I would say 4 or 5 years ago. And I knew what her channel was about, and I didn't agree with it because I don't agree with interracial dating when it comes to black and white. I just don't. And that doesn't make me hateful. That just makes me love my natural black woman, because that's what I love and that's what I want. That's why I'm married to one. So make a long story short, because I'm going to finish this video. I thought this video was going to be less, but I had a lot more to say. So unfortunately, it went on more than it did, but I just want to make this last point. She just talked about something called the pink pill. She didn't really describe what the pink pill is, but it is a pink pill, and she says it's time for black women to start winning. So let me get this straight. You take a pill, and that's supposed to make you win. So this pill is some sort of drug that's going to give you better performance in bed, or is going to make you a better person out there in the real world when it comes to working. Is that what it is? I'm not clowning her when I say this. I'm just understand that she says it's a pink pill that's going to make black women start winning. Black women do need to win because they keep getting, I look at it like this. When a black woman marries a white man, it's not a win. When a black woman loves herself and she is successful in her job, that's a win. If a black woman is with a black man who treats her like gold, that's a win. Because first and foremost, the men in your own community should be treating you like the best woman on the face of the earth. Unfortunately, there's a collective who don't do that, and they make all black men, including good guys like me, look like shit and look like the enemy to black women who decide to swirl. Some swirlers actually could think and realize that there are other black men out there that are good. They just happen to be attracted to a white man, and I can respect those swirlers. I can't respect swirlers who follow this woman's message and say they want all black men dead and they don't want the birth of any more black male children. That is disgusting to say, as much as it is disgusting for a black man to say that all black women should be killed and extinct and exterminated because they're the destruction of the black community. The divide of the black community is something that white supremacy wants, and the divide of the black community is what Christelyn and Karazin promotes, and what Tommy Sotomayor and all these other hateful men promote as well. I don't care if you're a swirl and you don't agree. When you are trying to promote your women going out of their own community to give them quote-unquote options, and when black men are trying to quote-unquote give black men options outside their community, the only thing that comes from that is the destruction of the black race. Plain and simple. You don't agree? I don't give a shit.